Alright, and welcome back to the final episode of my Metal Gear Solid 2 European Extreme guided walkthrough. And as I said in the previous part, I really don't like this part of the game, but fortunately it's followed up by my favorite fight in the game. So, in this room it's actually useful to use the sword, but the thing is that the controls for the sword kind of suck, because you need to keep wiggling the thumbstick around. You can also press it for a stab attack, which will kill soldiers in a single hit. But the downside is that the animation has a lot of recovery time, so it can also get you killed. The other thing is that due to the camera angle, you can't really see where all the soldiers are. So basically you will want to keep running around the room holding L1 to block incoming bullets and keep killing everyone you come across. And make sure you wear body armor so you can survive at least a single hit. And when you get hit, move to the room below and kneel down to stop the bleeding, and you will also recover the health that you just lost. So that means you can take yet another hit. And of course the game trolls you by telling that you milled the vision, and it's not unusual to get killed at that exact same moment, because you can't see what the hell you are doing. Yeah, this fight is really long and an annoying clusterfuck, and as great as a game this is not an example of why, unfortunately. But just keep running around like a jackass, keep kneeling down in the next room when you get hit, and eventually the fight will come to an end.
No more games, Jack. At least you know. There's no reason to keep you alive now. a worthy opponent at least. But now, you should die as the little Jackie boy I once knew.
Immediately as the fight starts, you can get massive damage in before the rays even have a chance to attack. Always hit the knee first before you hit the head, because they need to have their mouths open. Hit the middle one, then the one on the right, and then the one on the left, and then repeat that same pattern. When missiles are fired, keep moving and listen for the sound. You can't see them, but you can hear how close they are to hitting the ground. Hitting the closed heads is not a waste because you need one extra hit per ray anyway. Machine gun fire can be dodged by moving in a backwards arch. When the ray in the middle has no health left, it will move away from the platform. So while the rays are relocating, you have the opportunity to strike the ones on the side. The rockets that they fire from their knees can be hard to dodge, but it's safest to do a cartwheel sideways. You can also dodge through the attack like you would iframe an attack in Souls games, but that's a lot more risky. And you know when the attack is coming when the ray is standing still for a second or two. If you can't hit the ray in the middle, always try to hit a ray on the side, at least if it's safe to do so. Any damage can help, and moreover, it prevents them from doing attacks for a little while. Also, just like in the fight against the Harrier, make use of the Stinger's targeting system. You can actually even aim after you fire. So you don't have to be that precise when you aim, which is good for me, because I'm terrible at aiming. Also, don't worry about wasting missiles. There are more than enough new ones all over the platform. Always stay moving when you hear the sound from the missiles. And if you are not absolutely sure that you're out of their reach, you can do a cartwheel at the last moment. There is no way to replenish your health before the fight, so the only attack you can survive is when you get clipped by machine gun fire. Other than that, this fight does require perfection, and it's a really long fight, as you need to take out about 20 rays. So don't pay too much attention to their life bars and numbers, because that will most likely be a bit depressing. This fight is about getting into a certain flow, so to say, where you lose track of time and you almost act and react automatically. In fact, when I beat the final one, I wasn't even aware that I was that close to the end. Now the worst attack of all is when they do their laser attacks, because that one happens so fast and it's really hard to dodge. And that attack is only telegraphed by them slightly leaning backwards, so I'm afraid I can't give you much advice on that. Just hope that they won't do it at all, or that when they do it you'll be quick enough. Fortunately, it is rather rare for them to do a laser attack, unless you get too close to them. And you don't want to get close to them, because they can actually stomp you to death. In the end, what this fight comes down to is patience. Relax, don't get greedy, and get into the flow of the fight. Don't pay attention to how many you have beaten so far, and just focus on what's in front of you. This fight is incredibly difficult, but it's an amazing and very memorable boss fight. Just persevere and never surrender.
Are you awake yet, Jack?
Okay, the retarded choking scene that serves no purpose. Fortunately, they nerfed it on the HD collection, but I still barely made it by placing the controller on the table and using the backside of a screwdriver to tap the button while holding the thumbsticks to the side. Yeah, on the original version this choking lasts a full minute. Absolutely fucking insane. This is the reason why so many people start a European Extreme playthrough, but have to end it right before the finish line. This simply shouldn't have been in the game in the first place.
What do you hope to hear? You know he doesn't know anything.
It's not him I want the answers from. It's time we were both free. I have other reasons for wanting you dead. The clues to the Patriots inside GW have been erased, but there are other traces. Inside you.
What?
The information is being carried by the nanomachines in your cerebral cortex, and throughout the neural network they formed.
And there we are, the final fight. What you'll want to do is circle around him and bait him to do an attack. In most cases you can hit him right after, but sometimes he will immediately block. In which case just retreat and wait for the next opportunity. The easiest attack to dodge is when he fires missiles at you, because you can just roll through it. You can do the same with his tentacles, but that requires a bit more precision. And when you get him in a corner, you can actually bait his missile attacks by moving out of his reach after you knock him down.
Let's go.
Cartwheels are also great for closing the distance. So if you are too far away to run, just dodge towards him to quickly get near him. It's best to circle counterclockwise around him. In fact, you even get that tip from Otacon if you call him on the codec. The only annoying thing in this fight is the camera and the controls. Also, you are fighting on top of a roof with a slight angle. Now you can block a lot of his attacks, but for the first phase I don't really recommend it. But as soon as you get his life bar halfway down, the second phase starts, and then it's best to actually block all of his attacks.
Let's go. Good work, Jack. But this is where it gets interesting.
Okay, now stay where you are and block until he finishes his attack. He moves really fast now, so if you also move around, chances are that you will get hit by the flames. So just let him come to you and block every single attack. He either does a single elbow attack or a combo ending in a stab.
Hey,
Just rinse and repeat, and once his health reaches 0, you'll have beaten this classic game on the hardest difficulty.
Die! Over here! Take this! Over here! Over here! Die! Let's go. Over here. Let's go. Take this. Over here. Take this. Take this!
Alright, and that's the end of my Metal Gear Solid 2 European Extreme walkthrough. Please leave a like and subscribe for more, and I will see you in the next playthrough. Thanks for watching.
Life isn't just about passing on your genes. We can leave behind much more than just DNA. Through speech, music, literature, and movies, what we've seen, heard, felt, anger, joy, and sorrow. These are the things I will pass on. That's what I live for. We need to pass the torch and let our children read our messy and sad history by its light. We have all the magic of the digital age to do that with. The human race will probably come to an end sometime, and new species may rule over this planet. Earth may not be forever, but we still have the responsibility to leave what traces of life we can. Building the future and keeping the past alive are one and the same thing.